Hi everyone, my name is Marie Garrig, founder and chief strategist at Letting Go of Me, a coaching and advocacy firm dedicated to supporting women and special populations as they seek to thrive through their journey in life. I wanted to take a minute and share with you how coaching has enabled me to pursue my passion in running Letting Go of Me full time. I was fortunate enough to meet Sharissa Sebastian at a time in my life where I really was starting to feel that the career path that I was on, the role that I was in, was no longer an exact fit for the values and passions that I wanted to pursue. I didn't have time to do some of the things that I really wanted to do in my life because I was spending so much time in a role that, although was beneficial for me for a very long time, and provided for my family very well, ended up just not quite meshing well. So when I received an email from Sharissa that described how sometimes women start to feel stuck in their lives, in their careers specifically, that they may not feel as comfortable as they once did and as fulfilled as they felt like they should be or they wanted to be, I really related to that person that Sharissa was talking about. And I decided to go ahead and have a strategy session with her to discover whether coaching was a good fit for me and whether it could benefit me in the journey that I really wanted to take versus the one that I was on. And I was lucky enough that in that first conversation, I was able to identify with Sharissa some of the core fears that were keeping me stuck. For example, I really felt like I didn't have enough time in my life to plan out or think about the things that I needed to do in order to make a change. I also felt like I was risking the comfort that I had and the lifestyle that I had in the role that I was in my career at the time. If I were to think about doing something different, I may have to make some changes in my life that I wasn't ready to make. And so in identifying these two fears with Sharissa, they ended up being some surface level fears, and then later I discovered some more deeper fears. But it really helped me to realize that I didn't want to spend one more day sacrificing time and energy on things that weren't a great fit for my values and passion. Instead, I really wanted to put some of those things that were no longer a fit aside and focus on developing myself and my career in ways that supported the vision that I had for what I wanted to accomplish and experience as I lived. Time and energy are things that we can't get back, and I didn't want to waste another minute. So I went ahead and signed up with Sharissa to do a coaching program, and it ended up being something that was transformational in my life, both because of the coaching, but also because of the timing that it happened. You see, I had been in a career that was working well for me and had a life that was working well for me too. But within the first couple sessions that I was working with Sharissa, all of that changed. The first session I had, I explained to Sharissa that I had just found out some information that ended up ending my marriage. The second session, only a week later, I shared with Sharissa that I was now unemployed as my role had been eliminated from the company that I'd worked with. So in just a matter of a couple weeks, those two concerns that I had of not enough time and the comfort of having a life that was somewhat put together and somewhat stable was all gone. And I no longer had to worry about those fears because they were actually my reality. But I had Sharissa there to help me through this transformation, and she was able to show me that this actually was a fantastic time, not only to be doing coaching, but also to be pursuing those dreams in my life. I had the opportunity to make life what I wanted it to be going forward. She was very helpful, even though I was a traumatized, broken mess in the moment, in helping me to realize that I was making progress. It may not be as much progress that I had made or as quickly as I had made progress in my life in the past, but she praised that progress, which encouraged me to continue on. She also, on one hand, she was encouraging me and praising me. On the other hand, she was giving me focus or helping me to focus on the things that I needed to do and providing accountability for me to continue to make strides in a time in my life where it would have been really easy to just lay back and say, hey, my world's crumbling and I'm just going to lay here for a little while. So Sharissa kept me motivated to keep working on myself and my dreams, and praised me for the progress, even if it wasn't the progress that I was used to making, or at least at a rate that I was used to making it. During my coaching sessions, I really focused on about 3 things that helped me to move forward and figure out what I wanted to do in my life and what I wanted to focus on going forward. The first was clarifying and solidifying the values that I had. Out of all of the values that are out there in the world, I was able to narrow them down with Sharissa's assistance to 3. And once I was able to do that, I was then able to use these values as a lens to consider the options that I had available to me. You see, there were things that I wasn't even considering in my life that I now had the option to consider. And rather than making fear-based decisions, I was unemployed as a newly single mom to 6 kids. I probably, without coaching, would have focused on finding me that next job as soon as possibly could to provide an income, whether or not that role was the right thing for me. Instead, I was able to work with Sharissa to define what made the most sense out of all the available options to me in being able to move forward in a career path that also met my values and my needs with my family and friends and passions. The third thing that I was able to do with Sharissa's assistance was discover and really tackle some of those deeper fears. I mentioned that the earlier fears were somewhat surface level, but these deeper fears and beliefs were really keeping me back, and they had to do with insecurities and lack of confidence. As I spoke with Sharissa, I remember one particular conversation where I told her, Sharissa, who am I to be speaking into the lives of other people? Who am I to take my writing, take my speaking engagements that I've already been doing somewhat, the coaching that I've been doing over time? Who am I to take this and then run with it full time? And I remember Sharissa's response to me, and it was transformational to me at the time and going forward, which was, Marie, who are you not to do that? Who are you not to share your gifts and talents and experiences with the world? And that was a paradigm shift for me that really launched me into considering moving to letting go of me full time. As a result of the coaching, I ended up being able to really give myself a lot of grace in that trauma period of my life, or that season. Remembering that in certain seasons, it's okay to not be okay. On certain days, it's okay to not be okay. And giving yourself grace to get through it. I also realized how important self-care and investing in self-care was, something that I hadn't been doing in the past, that I didn't value. As I tried to take care of my family, as I try to take care of friends and family, or be in relationship with others, as I try to support my clients, I needed to be able to make sure that I was taking care of myself and making sure that I was able to really energize myself, grow, and develop so that I can continue to pour into the lives of other people. And finally, all of this led to being able to pursue my passion full time. I took my private blog where I talked about foster care stories and just my life with my children and my career and that kind of thing, and my sporadic speaking engagements and writing projects that I had worked on, and turned that into a nationally recognized advocacy firm dedicated to the people and causes that I care about most. Now, on a daily basis, I'm able to be home with my kids. I'm able to, working hard, but home with them and being there for them, which is something that was important to me. And I'm able to help other women find freedom and purpose as they go through their own journey in life. So I'm grateful for coaching. I'm grateful for Sharissa's work with me. And I'm very thankful that I get the opportunity to now take those same types of skills and help the populations that I'm most passionate about. So thank you for your time. If you have any questions, reach out to me, and I look forward to hearing from everybody soon. Bye-bye.